Still 8. All right, so we have a vertical format. I was already saying to Darren that I took a bigger one, A3. Yeah, it's easier. But of course, if you want smaller, no problem at all. So also placing your bird and flowers on the paper. Also, probably you should try, take the whole width and just kind of make it big, because in general we have just bird and flowers. So not to leave just a small piece inside the paper, but have it bigger. So we can mark maybe somewhere where our head goes. And again, now just general shapes. Yeah. So you can correct if you say no, the bird too tall, too fat, too small. Yeah, according to the page or according to the flowers, and then yeah. So with the pencil, you can do some details. Yeah, like eye, of course. Yeah. So then you have it placed correctly where you like it, where it goes well. Yeah. Also, if you are looking at Darren picture, then you can see also some details around the eye. Yeah, you can also kind of mark this some kind of spots. Yeah, for you to. Yeah. Also the shadow. Yeah. Then we have one shadow under the head. Yeah. So kind of on the neck. Yes, and the other shadow is lighter, but still we see it. It's kind of under the belly. So. Yeah, I already put a lot of details to bird, but actually I would have to finish, the flowers kind of composition and then go back. But this is kind of, it's a common, you start and you want to get into details. So sometimes you really have to hold your hand with another hand and say, no, I'm gonna do all the compositions. And the flowers, of course, more freestyle, just marking where the yellow parts are living. Yeah. So you can more or less do the same as they are on the photo, and of course add more or have them less in some parts. But basically just kind of big circles. Also not much pencil on the yellow parts, because the yellow paint, it stays a bit more transparent. So you would need a lot of paint to cover the thick pencil. So then just lightly. And also try to make a bit different. One flower, pointing a bit more up. Yeah, so the spots for the green, we just leave empty. Yeah, we're just gonna get in with the paint later. So just very lightly where the yellow ones will be. Yeah, then you can come back to the bird, correct something, erase. Yeah. What we will be doing, so we will do kind of 50-50 palette knife and brush. So first we'll start with the brush and do some details of the bird. So like we'll paint eye, we'll paint the nose, and some maybe these black black parts. Yeah, like I forgot the name. But so I'm saying it so you can now concentrate on these details of the bird, yeah, and then you can draw it better with the pencil. But kind of the rest, so kind of this the back part of the head. This one is with the palette knife. The part of the body as well. We're gonna do all these colors with the palette knife, and then when it gets more dry, then we just add some touch-ups with the brush of the spots and yeah, and then of course we can spend more time with the paints for the bird, and the flowers will be more fluffy, yeah. But still, it's also when we were going to start with the paints, because it's we have this light color of yellow, and then we have like brown, and so it's very easy to get messy, to get the light colors get dirty. So we're gonna start really just with the like plain yellow light, and then just little by little adding these shadows or some darker spots. Mm-hmm. Yes, you let me know when you're ready. I will prepare a bit the colors. So I will just talk about colors, yeah, till you finish the sketch. So of course, like lemon yellow will be the main, and the one you probably have. Yes. The medium yellow we can also use, but more for the parts of somewhere like also shadows of the flowers. Yeah. Also can be some part of the bird as well mixed. Yeah. Also depends also which one paints. Maybe you have some other. Yeah. For example, I have a set of like neon acrylics, and so there is like these green, orange neon lights, and there is also one yellow. Yeah, it's very nice. It's even like yellowish than the lemon white. Yeah? So also I have one, I bought a tube of gold. Yeah, gold is also nice. It comes more closer with like ochre. Yeah, so it's yellow going already a bit to the brown. Yeah, and so it depends. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily use all of them, of course, but just like options. And then of course I have would use brown and black. Yeah, so I have burnt umber and black. Then of course for the shadow parts of bird, and yeah. And then I have actually just one green, because when I used for the flowers, we're gonna mix green with black, and it's gonna get us some dark parts. And as we're gonna do, you know, flowers kind of with a palette knife, big strokes, then putting the green, it's gonna be mixing a bit with yellow, and then it's gonna already on the painting become lighter. So actually just one green works well. And then I have a blue for the background, and then of course any blue, any light. So I have it more like turquoise, but also celestial blue of course works well. Yeah, so so we can start putting colors on the palette. So how going with the sketch? Yeah, I suppose you already experienced one. That's why I'm not. I mean, I'm going already more further as I feel. Okay, I'll put it here for now.
I've just done read on my bird. It wasn't right, so I've just I've done him again.
Okay, yeah.
So he looks a bit normal now. It didn't look a bird.
But yeah, that's like, I mean, we're really ahead of time. So
yeah,
take
I'm done now.
Erase the bird. Also, the bird, it's not so many lines. So just till you're happy.
Yeah, I'm happier now.
Yeah.
If you can go through the colours again, was it? So you had yellow.
Yeah, so let's go again together. So I'm putting lemon yellow. So lemon yellow will be kind of the main one.
Yeah.
Yes, like I've put a bit now, but later I'll be adding. I'm putting now more colors for the bird, and later I will add more yellow, you know, to dip in with the palette knife. And yeah, then I can have a drop also of normal, like medium yellow.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so then it can help me to darken some spots. Yeah, because we're gonna choose also. Okay, let's say this spot of bird is the brightest yellow, and the rest, of course, goes more with the shadow. So then, if you have sienna, yeah, so sienna is like in between brown and yellow. Yeah, so it's kind of light brown, or yeah. So we can also do a drop. It can help us.
How about some ochre? Does that help?
Which one, say again?
Yellow ochre.
Yeah, yellow ochre as well. I also have this one. In general, so you can put a drop of each. Yeah, so not much, but if you have, you can put a
burnt umber,
and then you can see which one helps. Yeah, but definitely I'm putting also a bit here on the side. I'm putting brown, so like dark brown and black, and putting them kind of together, because then it helps. Some spots I do black, and then I start mixing in black and brown, and So these two guys, like I have here together. And I'll do the drop of gold that I have, so you can see how it looks. If you go to the store, sometimes they have 10 types of gold. Yeah, so then you choose which one. But it's really nice. The color, it's kind of shiny yellow brown, and I actually don't use it very often, but for the bird, I tried, and it helped me to, let's say, in some parts where I said, oh, it got too dark, and I would put this gold one, and kind of really nice for this part of the shadow of the belly, because this is a bit tricky part. You have to make it in the shadow, but not too dark. Yeah, so not too dark like here under the nose, on the neck. So, I mean, sometimes it takes a bit more time to rework the tone. Yeah, so these colors I have for the start, for the bird. And I have a very tiny, here a tiny brush, because then we're gonna start with black. And we're gonna start just with eye and nose, just these details. Yeah, because it's kind of, we're gonna do the fluffy bird with palette knife, but still we want to save some precise details of the bird. Yeah, so it's kind of half and half. Also because of the format. Of course, if we would have a huge one, then we could go and do the eye also with the palette knife, but already. So how are you doing? Ready to start, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So I'm taking just, oh, sorry, Josie. Yeah? All right. So just, I have my small brush and I just dip in. So almost no water, just plain black. And I just go inside the eye. Yeah. So I'm just like tapping around the white spot. So I want to keep the white spot in the eye, and yeah, and I have less black like over the white spot and more black. Yeah, and then I can tap a bit here behind the eye. Yeah, the bird has some. Yeah, and a bit maybe in front also, and I'll do also this line of the nose. Yeah. So it's more or less like marker. Yeah, I'm just with black paint. I'm marking these details that I don't want to lose, that I want to stay kind of sharp. And I'm also going for the shadow. using also that, so the moment when you have already less paint on your brush, yeah, then I can kind of spread a bit, somehow kind of putting color, but it's very already less. I'm just kind of, so I'm leaving some white in between. Yeah, I've marked, and then later I can get in with brown or something, but or later I can also make it darker if I need. Yeah, but at the moment, just kind of marking this. Then I can also mark a little bit this start of the head, this kind of hairs above the nose. Yeah, just a little bit, just some. And then also with the same, I'll go and mark also the the black the wing. Yeah, so you can also a bit exaggerate, for example, and make it a bit you know, like a bit longer, a bit fluffy. So like be more brave a bit on the detail. Yeah. And we will do the same with the tail. Yeah. Yeah, and tail as well. You can kind of a bit prolong some part of tail. Yeah, so it's kind of more expressive. Yeah. So, yeah. Also, don't worry, we come back. Yeah, so this is kind of the first step to mark. So we also have something to avoid when we do the palette knife. Yeah, so we have already these spots, but later we can, you know, go back and retouch if it's needed. Yeah. Of course, I forgot to mention white. We need white also on our palette. Now I'm gonna squeeze it. All right, so once we've done the details, we take the palette knife and we're gonna start just with the lightest yellow. So we're gonna mix yellow with some white, and then we're gonna do this, all this part of the bird. Yeah, also including, you can go in where the shadow is. Yeah, doesn't matter, we kind of just spread the yellow so we have it light, and then we just go around, yeah, like making darker some parts, but being careful not to, you know, still to keep, because we know you can get messy easy. Yeah, so let's say, yeah, also don't worry if you do like too much yellow, later you cover with the black or brown, yeah, some spots, so it's kind of Like still you would say, okay, but I can do the same with the brush. But still we know the palette knife kind of has these nice movements of, yeah. So maybe, yeah, as it's yellow now, probably it's a bit hard to see on camera, but later with more brown. But you know, then it's kind of like, lets us have this more fluffy feeling of the painting, yeah, more. Yeah, but we do the trick, we do the brush details, yeah, so. Yeah, and of course, palette knife requires more paint, yeah, so. Yeah, so I've mixed now only yellow and white and did it very light, light one. And then later I can go and darken. So for example, now I can dip in directly to the yellow, yes, and just do some touch-ups in some parts where I think, okay. Let's say maybe here closer to the wing, maybe can be a bit more dark yellow, and more on the chest can be lighter. Yeah? Oh, and also some yellow there around the eye. Yeah. So till we have still all clean, yeah, using just this clean, then we also do some touch-ups around the eye. Of course, it's not something that, let's say, you can't use the brush. For example, I can take now brush and, for example, where the eye, I can spread a bit. Yeah, let's say, if it's hard for me to get in, then no problem. I just take here clean brush, spread a bit the paint, and yeah. Also, this back part of the head. So later when we do the brown, yeah, and then we can do like little touch up of a lot of white and little brown and like cover here. But this like back part of head, let's leave it also very light. Yes. It's almost no color there. Yeah, it's white mixed with some little. Yeah. All right. So after that, we can now start darkening a bit. So this, as I said, this part of the chest of this of the body, so under the chest, like stomach part where the shadow is, it's a bit tricky, yeah. So we might like just take a bit more time working on it, yeah. So I can actually maybe spread a bit more yellow also there, yeah. So in case it just shines through in some parts. Yeah. So, but then I would take, for example, this ochre. Yeah, I think ochre is nice to start because it's still not too dark brown. Yeah, it's kind of, and I can get into my mix where I just had yellow and white. So I get this paint into this mix, and then I can just start putting like where my shadow lives. Yeah, because it's light color. And we are still staying on the safe. Yeah, and I can kind of shape also the belly, a bit bigger, smaller. All right. Yeah. And so with the same also, so as you feel, okay, this color is not too dark, you can get in also in some, no, just like little strokes, maybe where the neck is. Yeah. Also maybe with, so just also kind of getting in to this our yellow part of the body. Just to, yeah, also maybe on top of the head, we can also, yeah, where we had the start of the black. Yeah.
Sorry, postman. I'm back now.
Yeah, so yeah, but with the upper part of head, very careful, very little. Yeah, so it's really like just this front part, and rest we will try to leave more like neutral. Yeah, and so when you're ready, say okay. And already feeling a bit more confident, yeah, with moving the palette knife. Then I'm taking now the burnt umber, so just brown, yeah, already darker brown. And I can start with some, yeah, connecting maybe the shadow with the belly a bit, yeah. But I'm working kind of carefully, yeah. So I see how the paint goes, yeah, too much, too little. So I'm trying not to get it too dark at once. Yeah, so I'm kind of letting space to I mean, of course, it would be cool have just one palette knife stroke and have it all ready, but yeah. But still, it's nice this kind of inaccuracy then that we have with the palette knife. Because with the brush, sometimes you tend like do it too much. Well, for my side, it definitely is like too accurate, and with the palette knife, it's kind of you don't have other choice. That's how it just goes. Yeah, and then I do this on the wing, this next to this black part. Then I do this also, this kind of also fluffy. Yeah, and also like the borders of the bird, the more fluffy it is, the better. Yeah, like inside we can still do maybe more accurate, but outside it's kind of we create this feeling of yeah. So yes, and then I can mix, for example, now also the burnt umber and sienna, yeah, and see so which color I get. Something yeah, already a bit darker than sienna, but lighter. So yeah, I can go again. So I'm working very accurately on the stomach part, yes, because it's kind of I'm darkening it, but still a bit carefully, yeah. And then I connect also here where the next shadow is very dark, so not to have this spot like separately up there. Yeah, I'm kind of prolonging it a bit to the shadow on the belly. Yeah. and then also with some dark. So this kind of black and dark spots that we see on the yellow body, yeah, kind of dots. You can choose, yeah. If you feel already comfortable with knife, you can do this with knife. If not, also with the brush, it's no problem, very comfy. Also because we left with palette knife kind of these strokes, then you kind of just can follow with the brush, and then you can also maybe take even black, yeah, a little bit. So do some touch-ups, yeah, and then you say, okay, if too much, you can also just kind of spread out a bit. But then, of course, if anytime you say, oh, too much, then you have to clean the brush and then go back with the clean brush, because then it will take off the paint. Yeah. Yeah, we can also with the like take some very so for example to finish the bird, meaning like not to leave the white spots. So you can mix, like take a lot of white apart on the palette and mix with some with a little drop of brown, yeah. And then we do this back part of head and also the nose, yeah. So not to leave it just too empty. Yeah, and as you wish, yeah. It can also be with the brush. Then it also looks more flat, and we kind of also divide this way a bit. So I'm kind of just with this light brown, so yellow mixed with drop of brown. I'm creating also kind of the shape of the head. Yeah, also making some fluffy spurs, yeah, some fluffy movements. And as it's light, I can cover it, yeah, more like, and then later I can go on top with some darken details. Yeah? And I also can do a little bit of nose just to have it, not to have my paper white. Yeah? And now, so just with the same brush, I can do little it's kind of fluffy touch-ups. Oh. Yeah, and also the more in the air they are, also the better. Like, so I mean, in the real life there is already no bird, but I still would draw it more. Okay. Yeah, and then I can also darken some parts around the eye, for example. Yeah, so it's kind of mixed. You do some this palette knife, and then you can come back and touch up somewhere. Yeah, and so this white, this light part of head is visible. Yeah, we add these little strokes, little darker strokes. And then of course, when the brush is drier, then it's kind of easier. Yeah, when it's wet, it also depends. Like for some parts, it's better to have your brush wet. And And then you also don't forget, yeah, to sit back, take a look generally. Yeah, and then I can come back to work on this belly. Yeah, because belly is as I said, a bit tricky part to make it nice. Yeah. Then I can also either dig in with the brush if I feel more secure. Yeah, so one can also, for example, you did with the palette knife, and then you have these spaces in between, and then you can get in with the brush in between, and it will help. So it's kind of a bit tricky using this inaccuracy of palette knife. And then and then also where the tail is, also not to leave it like too cut out the black part. Then I can mix some black into my brown on the palette, and then with this darker brown I can kind of do some touch-ups. Yeah, so it's kind of prolonging a bit this black with dark brown black. Yeah, and then we can do also some so I think like the tiny brush is a really good friend for palette knife. They kind of, I think, can go together. And so you can get more yellow if you need more. Let's say if you got belly too dark, just go on top with yellow, especially if it's got dry already a bit. Yeah, and it will make it, let's say, lighter. We're also doing some darker touch-ups, yeah, where needed. And also a bit making a bit, like everything a bit more fluffy, yeah. Yeah, you can send me your bird if you have doubts with any part. Yeah. I can also, for example, I also do more water on the brush, and then I take, let's say, brown, and I can go on top of some parts, but then it's good, it's watery. It's kind of, you know, just gives another tone, yeah, on top. So it's here, say, on the neck. I don't want, of course, to go already with too dark, but if I put the watery brown, then it kind of covers nicely the tone I need. And then I can also darken up maybe some part of belly. Yeah. Yeah, also, for example, like in this belly shadow part, I lighten a bit here the middle part. So I kind of have this connected, the neck and this corner, they like kind of a bit have like one shadow. Like on this pre-drawing I have, you can see it a bit better, yeah? So it's kind of a bit connects visually. And then the middle is a bit lighter. And so this part is really tricky, yeah? You can like take time and study the picture itself, because that's the way the light is falling. And yeah, so it's a bit playing, like darkening up, lightening up some parts, yeah, till you feel okay, it has this. But in this case, it's very important to have a look like from far away. So in my case, for example, as you know, we're painting with camera, I always see my painting also on, you know, on the screen that you guys see, and it really helps a lot, yeah. So like also this taking picture when we send each other, it also gives this completely other kind of perspective, yeah. You see it, like it helps to spot these parts, that some parts are jumping out. Yeah, and you can then come back and do some black touch-ups a bit more, yeah, if you feel okay you've lost some. Yeah, and make a bit more. All right, let's see. All right, Mel. Oh, very nice bird, Mel. Let's see what we can. I feel a little bit the wing, yeah. Maybe like we can get a bit more fat this part of the wing, yeah, because it's also like comparing with the tail, yeah, to make just a bit maybe more confident, yeah, or if you like it. Like also can try to make like on purpose all this border, like this, all this right border of the bird a bit more fluffy. Yeah, it's kind of connecting with the background, and so I mean, if you want, if you like it, this way. And also like kind of a bit on the head, we can just on purpose, yeah, with small brush, you create these strokes on top, like think, like jumpy, yeah. But it depends. It's also kind of it's a question of style, yeah. So it's but with the colors, yeah, I think you got it pretty right. Maybe also connect a bit more, yeah, the black tail with the body, yeah. So also just a bit darken brown, yeah, there on the tail part, and then kind of going inside, yeah. So, but also you can leave it, yeah, because then the tail anyway is going from behind. So, and we're gonna have flowers in front. So, I mean, generally, yeah, I don't have much. I'm commenting, but it's actually not much to. Yeah. Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will not touch my bird anymore, I think. So take your time to finish. And we will move for the flowers. So for the flowers, you can, if you have already your lemon yellow gun from the palette, then you can add more yellow, of course. Yeah, so we're gonna start again just with the plain yellow, marking with the palette knife all the flowers. Yeah, and then so we also have all these light, yeah, color done, and we can also like freely mark more space of flower than it is, because later we're gonna get in with green, yeah, and we're gonna eat a bit of this yellow space. So yeah. So kind of, oh, I see one more picture. Yay, and Darren. Very nice. I think you see Darren kind of got this very nice light spot. Yeah, this game of the shadow and the light. Yeah, it's very nice. So it always works when you have this light spot, when you kind of save it. Yeah, work on it. A little bit on this with this eye. Yeah, I think on Mel's picture was also this line. Maybe it's a bit too kind of too straight, too maybe you can like work on it. You can like do some dots, maybe closer to the eye. Yeah, in this case, kind of break a bit that the line is too straight. It looks like the Zorro mask, or you know, yeah. So yeah, but the rest very nice. Also, yeah, it depends. This the wing, the black wing, if you want, can be a bit more in black. Yeah, but it's already the taste. So I will start slowly with the flowers, so then you can see and then yeah, follow. So I'm just the palette knife and just the yellow. Yes, you can also mix yellow with white if you want to make it also even lighter. Yeah, it depends how you feel about the yellow you have, and yeah. So basically, I'm just putting a lot of yellow. Yeah, also not It will need more paint, of course. Yeah. But it's gonna nice with the palette knife. It's also the strokes. It's almost like even the petals already done. Yeah, with the strokes of. And I'm just placing all over where my. I've seen also Darren picture. Darren, you maybe want to lighten up a bit with the eraser, your pencil, yeah, and then accurately like blow away all this eraser leftovers, because I see it's a bit too dark, the pencil, yeah, because even like I have now on my picture as well, and even I try to make it light, still I have this pencil showing off, yeah. Later, of course, we're gonna make a bit shadow of this yellow, yeah, with some darker yellow or brown. So still the pencil might disappear, yeah, but. So also these two flowers where the bird is sitting, for now I can put also just yellow there, yeah, but later we're gonna darken up this part where the bird is sitting, and of course there is a shadow, yeah. But at now I have my palette knife clean and just clean yellow, yeah, and placing my flowers. Yeah, and also don't like go a bit over your pencil, so do them a bit bigger, yeah, that then maybe you've planned, because later when we add green it's going to be all eaten up a bit. So and also somewhere we have just really small flowers, so you can also not do all flowers the same size, but somewhere do just like little stroke of yellow, meaning there is just this unopened little flower, yeah. And also like different directions, yeah, and some flowers together, then maybe like one or two bits separately. So also playing a bit with this. In this case, it's always best to look at the nature in itself, yeah, how it's done, how it has its flower placed. Yeah, also take your time, think where you want the flower to be. Don't have to rush. Also leaving some space in between, yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be all yellow and green. Then we can also leave the background, the blue in between them. Yeah. Also, if so, you did one color, I can do also, for example, now I take my medium yellow, yes, and I can kind of rework a bit my flowers if I want, yeah. And also I'm adding this darker yellow, and it's kind of like a shadow, yeah. So I won't make shadow dark, but still, of course, flowers that have some dark inside. And I'm also trying like to add it not really inside this light yellow, but kind of next to it, yeah. Also like this, making my flowers a bit bigger, and yeah. I mean, of course, I'm also like getting inside this, the yellow I already have, but if I'm putting my shadow on the side, then I'm making like a new line. It also helps not to scratch, yeah, because sometimes when you get in again, you're kind of scratching the paint you already have. Yeah. You can make some flowers, like complete flower, just with the darker yellow. Yeah, let's say complete flower is in the shadow. Yeah. Yeah, but also maybe like not too much. So if the aim is still to keep this feeling of really bright yellow flowers, then of course very accurate. Yeah, and keep better this lemon yellow, even mixed with white if needed. Mm. For the green part, then you can choose. Yes, either you do it with the palette knife or you do with the brush. It actually can be also both, like having both in hand also work. Yeah, so you can like do some fat strokes with the palette knife and then like do some touch-ups with the brush to get in between the flowers. Yeah, and what we will do, we will take green and we were gonna mix it with some black, but very little black. So like try it good on the palette. Yeah, so it's still green, but just darker. And then getting in between the flowers, you will see that it will be lightened up a bit with the flowers itself. Let's see. So I have my. So I have just one green. It's really like simple medium green, the only one that comes sometimes in, and it's not very nice anyway. Like it's not nice to use it directly from the paint. It's usually always have to be mixed with something, either with yellow or black or blue. Yeah, but to have the green. Yeah, and then I have it, and I'm gonna mix it a bit with the black, and slowly I'm adding black. Okay, now it's already too much. When it's too much, then I clean my brush. And then I go in a bit more. Yeah. So the aim is to create this kind of deeper green. Yeah. And so, and what I try to do, so with the darker green that I have mixed with the black, I'm getting more like inside, yeah, so not touching yellow ones at the moment, so more like somewhere in between, yeah. And then once I have already like less paint on my brush, then I can kind of do the movement next to the flower, touching a bit, it's gonna kind of move make my green a bit lighter, yeah. Because then I'm kind of touching. And as a wish, I really like. I feel it's more comfortable to get in with the brush, yes. But if you have enough green mixed and like some people I know like really palette knife, then of course, and it's more braver, yeah, because of course brush is more control.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean Jules, she's brave. She loves palette knife, so I imagine my advice is not for her. So, but
Well, you'll be surprised. There's a lot of gentle strokes in this as well as the bold stuff today.
yeah.
It's a bit of both.
Yeah, and I can make so these longer lines with of green, yeah, also. But so the idea also then you like with the darker green mix, you get there somewhere in between, yeah, where usually the shadow is. And so it's kind of somewhere there inside. And then you kind of spread what's left on the brush next to the flowers. Yeah, and then you get this. And as we put yellow with the palette knife, we've put kind of a lot amount of paint, and it's kind of easy to. Yeah, and then also being creative, not just kind of covering all the space inside with the green, but you can play around and do some, let's say, more abstract. And you can also get like over the flowers, yeah, with some green. It's so not to leave just all flowers like sitting on top. Some get covered with some green leaf. Yeah. Then mix more green if you need it. So also make it kind of enough presence of the green. But this dark green, I think, is important still to get in. Yeah, so it's like almost always when we paint some trees, yeah, and there is the shadow, so it's the green mixed with black is very, very nice. And then you can have the brush, for example, like more water, and then just connect some spaces. If you have. But don't forget, we can also leave some spaces for the blue. Yeah, it will be also nice to have like some like sky shining through the flowers. So. If you feel your green maybe too dark, and of course you can mix it separately on the palette with yellow, yeah, and then at once you will get some nicer. And then again, looking from far away, yeah, the flowers, there is more also the feeling, yeah. So you just, I mean, there are no so much detailing. It's more than you have to look and have yeah, this the feeling of brightness, lots of yellow. And then we don't forget to darken these two flowers on the top under the bird. So you can take yeah. So again, this or sienna. Yeah, there's something in between yellow and brown. Yeah, and then just kind of do the touch up. Yeah, it's kind of also connecting the flower with the bird. Yeah, so because we're not specific how the bird is sitting there, and so we just, yeah, and then if it's not too dark, add a bit darker. Yeah, so some part of this flower I leave yellow. Yeah, but I and also if you want, you can get in with this sienna, also somewhere maybe more in between. Yeah, I mean the flowers. So let's say if you feel maybe just too simply yellow, yeah, then you can get maybe some shadows. So some like little strokes, yeah, not too much, not to darken up, but can work well to break a bit like all this plane of yellow. Yeah, we have tried to do this with the darker yellow, but now we can do a bit more with the this. I'm playing now with this gold color I have. It's kind of similar to sienna, but a bit more, just more shiny. It's probably on camera one, it's not so relevant. Yeah, so you can add like some petals. You can make a bit darker. And so, of course, I think generally like the bird should stay more detailed because still like the main is the bird, and flowers, of course, more abstract. Yeah. And so, I mean, like, for example, I've seen the Darren bird looks very detailed. Yeah. So in this case, you can like leave flowers more, yeah, more abstract, like just yellow spots, some green, some more appealing. Yeah. So not to make the same kind of level. Yeah. Also with this blue background, it will help kind of. And with the blue, so we're gonna work, imagine if it's aquarelle, yeah, because we know acrylics, they have this, they can be both aquarelle and oil. So it will be a lot of water and so it depends. For example, this background that I did on this previous painting, I did with the palette knife. Later, I kind of did it a bit with like some touch-ups with brush, but also I had my palette knife and lots of water. Yeah, so kind of having paint and spreading, but still, of course, it was leaving some marks. Yeah, so then it depends on your taste. If you want the background really neutral and then it's just the presence of blue, then you better take the brush and just like in aquarelles, you have a lot of water and you just spread, yeah, it out. If you like it more, let's say like some old wall, yeah, that have these cracks and have these lines, then you take the palette knife and you kind of spread, yeah. So
with white, I've got a splash of yellow in it.
yeah, and also the blue I'm taking is this turquoise, and it's kind of nice because it is blue with green. Yeah, so when I will get in between the flowers, it's nice because then it's kind of mixing well with green. Yeah, so but of course, like this celestial also works nice. No problem. And of course, you can mix the background with white. Yeah, so if you have it when it's really neutral, then even if this celestial like looks light, still on the paper it might look darker. Yeah, and kind of jump. So to stay safe, mix it with white, get it really lighter, put on the paper, and then if you see, oh, it can be darker, then it's no problem. It's easy to add a bit more. Yeah, but I mean, so not to go too much with the blue. Yeah, so I'm mixing also my turquoise, I'm mixing with white. Yeah. And in this case, lots of water, yeah? Like with the brush, I'm putting water straight to the palette as well. Yeah. And you can also, of course, always experiment somewhere, yeah? Not to start straight from the middle, but you can start in some corner. Let's see how your blue looks like, yeah? And then you say, okay, I'm happy with my blue, then and of course, if you have bigger brush, you can also do the bigger brush. Very light, can do a bit more dark. But also, for example, you can do like just all lighter and then darken up some moments. Yeah, maybe next to the bird, later can darken up the blue. Yeah, so. Yeah. Of course, it's also easier with the brush in the sense of mixing. Yeah, then it's of course it's easier to take paint. Yeah, with the palette knife, you kind of need to really mix a pile of paint and then you grab it and. Yeah, no worries if this blue mixes a bit with yellow. Yeah, and just create some green, and we already have green, so should work well. Yeah, and I'm putting some more intense blue next to the bird, and then like outside, I spread more neutral. Yeah. And background also doesn't have to be the same from all the sides. So we can make in front, we can make more. In the back of the bird can be less. Yeah. So also like around the head also can be maybe lighter. Yeah, or also not so. So how it feels. Yeah. But meaning that we can like put some accents also with the using background. Yeah. Then. Too much. Yeah, so for example, like more pure blue, yeah, more darken is nice here in between the flowers, yeah, kind of gives a good touch up.
I'm done. I'll send you the picture.
Oh, wow.
Now, I found this quite tricky, but I'm pleased with it.
All right. What was the tricky part?
First of all, getting the drawing of the bird's face, but now I've put the paint on it. It's worked. I've done it very, very detailed, and I've put some. He's got grass in his mouth for some.
Of course. We're fighting the hunger.
It's lunchtime here.
Cool. Okay, so first you got it too detailed, and then you kind of added more paint to.
Yeah, so I've done the bird detailed, and then I've gone really abstract on the background and on the gauze.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
So you got that.
Okay, I got it. Yes. Let's see. Ah, nice. Yeah.
It's quite bright. It's more detailed when you see. I've got it by the light. Let me take another picture of this one because it's in the day. It's in the window. So just change it around.
No, but very nice picture, and yeah.
Yeah, I've got more colour here. And when I've taken the masking tape off tomorrow, I have that clean background.
Yeah, very expressive. I always like, Jules, how you put a lot of course, paint. Yeah, you can see on this yellow flower, like this stroke. Yeah, it's really like tells the.
What I did is I had a little bit of water to the paint and flicked it.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I like that.
Very good. Not a good thing to wear black though when you're doing it. Hence where I've got my apron. Like, oh no! I was like looking down, but I haven't. Little guys.
Yeah. Mel, I have a little comment about the green. Yeah. I feel it's a little bit too thin. Yeah. If maybe you just kind of also like this dark one is nice, but maybe you can take just like green mixed with yellow. Yeah, and just kind of get a bit messy around. Yeah, so not to leave them a bit like thin snakes, but just kind of.
It reminds me of Art Deco, you know, like 1920s.
A bit, yeah. Well, again, you see, I'm suggesting just because like my style, but of course, Mel, I mean, it can be just the style, yeah. So it's, yeah, nice, Darren. You got these yellow shadows, yeah. It was also, I didn't want to make like dark shadows on yellow, so these kind of two yellows works very nice.
Lucy is going to fly off. Whoosh.
Believe me, photography. We don't stick around too long, I tell you.
Another enjoyable lesson. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I've seen already. Darren said that's already the next lesson.
Oh yeah, the bridge.
So which one, Jules? Which one do you like?
You've got.
I must admit, I do like the old church.
Yeah, the folly. That's it.
Yeah. Isn't that nice?
The purple in the background.
Exactly. I also think good. We agree. It's also the church itself. This window. Where is it? You should.
It's a place called Mount Edgecombe. It's a country house near Plymouth, which the background is actually overlooking Plymouth Sound.
Okay. Can you later text the name of the spot? So I'll check. But amazing, yeah. This old church we can, and the sky.
The color.
Yeah, the background, the sky purple, and the grass, the green of the amazing. So well, it's set already for Darren is making my work really easier. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the second bridge is also nice. So I see it's like the old like the same bridge, but
In the old days.
yeah, like older days picture, but it's actually the same eight curves there. Yeah. Nice.
Right, I'm going to go then. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Jules, for joining. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend, everybody, and have a good
Yeah.
week. I'll see you next week.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye then. Bye.
Darren, are you happy with your bird?
I think so. Yeah.
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 Also, for example, like a little comment, but also depends, like the background. Yeah.
Yep.
So, for example, you did a lot of like darken on the top. Yeah. So, but it's also like it depends how you work. Yeah, with the backgrounds. Like in my way, of course, I did like more dark in the center, yeah, next to flowers and the bird, and later it just spread out, yeah. But it just like, to think, to reflect how different backgrounds can work. Yeah. So but I really like your flowers, the combination of two yellows. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, and for example, also for comparison, yeah, we can take a look at Mel's background, yeah, and then it's more like I feel it even more emotional, yeah, because it has all the lines in all the different, like your one is horizontal, yeah, and someone can make vertical, yeah, and then so how you can, and if you look at Jules, yeah, background, and it's all completely, so how we can, in the end we do the picture, and then just with the background we can create completely different emotion. Yeah. The Folly, Mount Edgecombe. Ooh, okay, I'll Google it more about it. Yeah, but amazing, you guys. So you travel to like.
It's on our doorstep, pretty much. So it's all sort of sites.
Yeah. Cool.
Easy to drive to. So.
Yeah, but amazing, you caught this color of sky, this purple. It's like, whew.
That was just using some photographic things. It wasn't Photoshop. It was using something very like that because it's a very just try to make the colours pop out a tiny bit more. And it's quite a great.
But so, looks amazing. Yes.
So yeah, I like that one.
Also, Jules already went away. I forgot to ask. You happy to continue with acrylics, or you want maybe, I don't know, these pastel oils we've tried?
I think we're happy with acrylics, to be honest.
Okay, good. Yeah, no problem with me. All right.
Okay, great stuff. Okay, we will see you next week then.
Yeah, see you next week. Yeah, thanks for joining. Bye-bye, Darren.
Bye.